This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. Well, you know what? Another slow day in Edmonton Oilers land, so might as well take a look at somebody a couple of you guys have kind of mentioned as somebody the Oilers need to target. This one you guys have been insistent on from since about, since trade deadline, somewhere in there, I'd say, because Joonas Donskoi, that's the name. I don't need to creep around it and try and make it something it ain't. Joonas Donskoi is the name, and the reason we do this today, I wasn't biting on it, right? You just didn't know the elements that were about to affect the San Jose Sharks, right? Obviously, now you go sign Erik Karlsson if you're the San Jose Sharks to an $11.5 million contract. That leaves you $12.5 million in cap space to do, well, several contracts. I'll just list the names here that they got to find contracts for. Kevin Labanc, then you've got Joonas Donskoi, right, the guy we're talking about, Joe Pavelski, Joe Thornton, Gustav Nyquist, and let alone you got to find a contract for RFA Timo Meier. So that's a lot of games, and there is a contract as well for Dylan Gambrell that's got to come up. So the San Jose Sharks, guys, this Erik Karlsson contract may just be the whole shaker and mover of the offseason, if you know what I mean, right? Obviously, we knew he was going to shake up and move around things in, why is my camera out of focus? Hold on. Shake up and move things around out of the offseason, whether he signed with San Jose or signed in free agency. Now we have it, so we have a clear picture of basically what should be available on the market. Yeah, there's still Matt Duchene to be decided if he's going back to Columbus, but time is running thin, right? We've got Matt Duchene's got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to decide what he's doing, if he's hitting the open market or staying in Columbus. So that's another big contract to look at. But the news of this Erik Karlsson contract, guys, this is where it gets unignorable, because that leaves the San Jose Sharks, like I said, with $12.5 million in, well, cap space. They've got no LTIR to use up, if I'm correct. Nope, they've got a buyout for Paul Martin way back when. That's still on the books for $1.4 million next year. So they're in tight, definitely. And you look at Joonas Donskoi. Why is this such an interesting kind of play for the Edmonton Oilers? Obviously, I'll get to the contract talk in a second here, but this is an interesting play because this would add a 27-year-old Finnish player, right winger, right? 27-year-old Finnish right winger to the Edmonton Oilers. And, well, okay, I'm making a big stink about that. Well, that's a big comrade in arms to talk hockey with if you're Jesse Puljujärvi. And that's a huge thing. So let's get to Joonas Donskoi here, who his previous contract was $1.9 million per season cap hit. So we'll get to that in a second, and we'll see why. 2017-18, he had 32 points, and 2018-2019, he had 37 points. The 32 came in 66 games in 17-18, while the 37 came in 80 games this past season. So, I mean, okay, you want to sit here and play devil's advocate. I can hear it. 5.5 by 5, Jordan Eberle, 37-point season. But seriously, this isn't Jordan Eberle who scored how many ever goals a season, 20 goals a season for how many years of his career and put up a career average of like 58 points. No, this is Joonas Donskoi, whose career season is a 37-point year in 80 games. So if you're the Edmonton Oilers looking for that desperate right wing help, and you're not thrilled by absolutely anything that's been floated before, Connor Brown's a no-go, and you're just looking for something off the free agent market that may be cheap, well, that brings us to have to look at the Edmonton Oilers and what they're going to do if the cap is indeed at $83 million. Because you've got Alex Chiasson, Tobias Rieder, Jujhar Khaira, Jesse Puljujärvi, Ty Rattie, and a backup goaltender. Those are the 6 big contracts the Oilers have to figure out this offseason. That's all that remains. Those are the big 6. Well, Alex Chiasson, if you're going out and looking to sign Joonas Donskoi, he's probably lost his spot on the team, hands down. Then you've got Tobias Rieder. Well, Bob Nicholson said he wouldn't be back even while he was still in uniform. So that brings us to Jujhar Khaira, who I've said, if you're looking for cap relief, it's probably a good idea not to re-sign him. It allows you to sign somebody a little bit marginally better and hopefully get a little bit more production. However, you sit here, and I am now kind of in the pro camp because I'm in the pro trade Lucic camp, which everybody says, then who's going to make our opponents fear hitting our stars? Well, Jujhar Khaira, Zach Kassian, and Darnell Nurse are three guys more capable than Lucic, in my opinion, of doing that on a regular basis. Then you've got Jesse Puljujärvi. Well, guys, this has been said too many millions of times before. He's being kept. Ken Holland, Dave Tippett are working in tandem to do something with him and actually make him into a hockey player now that he's going to be a little bit more matured, a little bit more ready to be worked on after the hip surgery. That who knows how long that was hampering him realistically. Hockey players hide things to a degree. Teams ignore things to a degree. Who knows how long that was going on. And Ty Rattie. Sorry, you've lost your spot. You had a show and prove year. That was what last year was for him, and he showed pretty much nothing. I mean, unfortunate injury to start the year, and that probably hampered him all year, so fair enough. And backup goaltender, well, do you sign Stolarz? Do you sign Leonard? Do you sign Mrazek? Whoever you sign, you need to sign for $2 million or less. That's the key if you're the Oilers, $2 million or less at the backup spot. So let's go back up to that chart where I was talking about Jesse Puljujärvi and tripped myself up, one name too high. Jesse Puljujärvi and Jujhar Khaira. Jujhar Khaira needs a show and prove contract similar to what Ty Rattie got this past year, which would mean $1 million flat in my estimation. $1 million flat, you're saving money right there. $2 million for a goaltender, $1 million for Jujhar Khaira. That leaves $2 million open for Jesse Puljujärvi. What does that leave in cap space? That leaves $4.8 million, so just about $5 million. Now, the question is, if Joonas Donskoi makes it to the market on July 1st, can you go out there, not sign him for $4.8 million, get him for about $3.25, leave yourself some wiggle room, and actually be able to get him signed on the dotted line and sign up, A, for the mess that's been the Oilers for the past 13 years, pretty much, and B, sign him up over other teams, all other 30 teams in the NHL? That is the question. That all hinges, though. Don't get me wrong, you can totally say he'll just re-sign in San Jose. It all hinges on things going not the way that San Jose would maybe like them to go with their last $12 million of cap space. Obviously, you lose Joe Pavelski, you lose Joe Thornton. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, we don't need to worry about this. Joonas Donskoi is a San Jose Shark to start the 2019-2020 season. However, you sign one of those two and Timo Meier, the math just kind of works in the favor that the Oilers would have a shot at a guy like Joonas Donskoi on July 1st. Whether that pan out or not, who really knows which way it's going to go, but he's an interesting target. I said it, there's one key selling feature for me here, and it's as simple as this. A 37-point guy at 27 years old who's looking probably for an expanded role now, and he's Finnish. Hands down, that's your three selling features. Age, he's not another old guy. He's not an old vet who's going to slow us down. He's relatively fast and quite well sized and fit into his frame. And he's Finnish. He's Finnish. That's literally all that matters to us at this point, is finding a guy like Joonas Donskoi for Jesse Puljujärvi. You have to do it. If you're Ken Holland and Dave Tippett and you're going to commit to getting it right, if you're going to commit to getting it right, as everybody said for years, Jesse Puljujärvi needs a role model. And who better than a guy who's come up, played a couple of years in the NHL, been relatively successful over his career. I mean, 17 points in 61 games, not successful, but he's been that guy for the San Jose Sharks at times. He surprises them. I mean, how many times did he burn Edmonton this year? Let's be serious there. And realistically, a guy that could very well work for $3.25 million. I've said all along, we have $4 million to spend on a great top 6 forward if he's available, whether it be via trade or free agency. This one with the Karlsson deal just seems like it's a possibility. Seems like a very, very, very good possibility, but it all hinges on a couple things happening in San Jose and then everything going according to plan on July 1st. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. What I want to know is, I've explained it a million ways to Sunday. I can go break it down however you want. Let me know in the comments section below if you think this would be the move. I know a couple of you have said that, so let's talk about it. Let me know in the comments below. As you're going down there, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. That way you just get the videos, you get the discussions quicker. You get to be in here, you get to get in the comments, and I usually reply a lot quicker if you're in here earlier than if you're in here at 2 in the morning when I'm sleeping in at work. And Anyway, guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I will catch ya in the next one.